Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You join me on the morning of the FA Cup final, Saturday, May 22nd, 2021, the Merseyside derby at Wembley for some silverware. We've played we've not played two FA Cup finals, we've played two Merseyside derbies so far this season. We've lost 1-0 and we've lost 4-2 most recently. Nervous about this particular encounter, I will be honest. As ever, before we go into the video, drop the video a like, please, to ensure that I can see that you guys are still thoroughly enjoying this series, and of course to help push the content to new people and help the channel grow and the series to continue to go on from strength to strength. I really do appreciate it, guys. It means the world, and it genuinely does make a difference for the channel as well. You've seen the difference that we've had with view numbers, with sub numbers, etc. It's all thanks to you guys smashing the thumbs up button every single time, and dropping all of your feedback in the comments section every single time as well. With regards to the comments section, without cheating and skipping to the end, do let me know how you think this Merseyside derby FA Cup final will end. I am not confident, but with blind faith, I'm going to say Everton 2, Liverpool 1 after extra time. And that is blind faith. Of course, as ever, we're in the suit. If you're new to the channel and this is the first cup final you're seeing, we do this for a bit of fun. Whenever we get to a cup final, we don the, apart from the Carabao Cup, because nobody cares about that. When we get to an FA Cup final or a Champions League final or a Europa League final, we don the suit out of respect for the competition. And of course, to just have a little bit of fun, really. And in real life, players and manager would wear suits to a cup final, especially at Wembley. So that's what we do. We'll wait and see how we get on today. You may have noticed things ticking around here. Alex Iwobi is currently the competition's top goal scorer and will remain so, as nobody else is even remotely close to him. The last time Everton were in an FA Cup final was 2009. 2-1 defeat to Chelsea. The last time Everton won an FA Cup was 1995 with a 1-0 win over Manchester United, who at the time were one of the best teams in the country. Although I think 95 was the year that Blackburn won the Premier League. But Manchester United, obviously one of the best teams in the country in the mid-90s. Still one of the best teams in the country in real life and in this save, just not necessarily right at the very echelon of the Premier League. But Liverpool certainly are best team of this current era. Just won themselves the Premier League. They were towards the latter stages of the Champions League. We will have, as ever, a full season roundup at the end of this game, so do stick with me through that as well. Again, if you're new, at the end of each season, whether it be at the end of a season finale, if we're not in a cup final, or at the end of the last cup final, we go through and have a look at all of the stats from the season and have a think about the transfer window for the next season. So I will be minus Abdoulaye Doucouré and James Rodriguez at full strength for this particular cup final. However, I have a couple of things to deal with first. The main one being that Hugo Irving has asked to be called up. He said he's unsettled and he wants to be brought up to the main team. He's 62 rated, so he's getting there. We could obviously loan him out. 82 to 94 potential, so he's worth putting some time into and starting to grow quite nicely. So we will promote him to the senior team so as we don't lose him. Moving on from there, it's time to just jump straight into the press conference. Andre Gomes did come to me and say, "Boss, I want to play, but I'm going to stick with Allen and Tom Davies in my midfield too." The full strength starting 11 outside of Doucouré and James will look as you expect it. We're always ready. There's no special plans for an FA Cup final, no special plans for a Merseyside derby. With the side we have, with the season we've had, we aim to win as many games as possible, and we won't approach this one any differently. We've taken lessons from the last game we played against Liverpool. I hope we went one better than the first game. First game was a 1-0 defeat. Second game we scored against Liverpool. We just so happened to concede 4 times as many goals. So we shall try and score and not concede as many this time and hopefully get a win. And we'll hopefully, which one do I go for? It's up to them. No, I don't think that's a fair response. The boys are working hard, but we have to go in confident that we can do the job. We got great wins in the last episode in the season finale. Thank you to all of you who joined me for the premiere. It was a very successful one. I appreciate all of you that joined me there and those of you that have watched it since. Thank you very much as well for showing your support on the season finale in the Premier League. Of course, we finished 5th in the Premier League and will be having Europa League football next season. That will be my starting lineup. Digne, Gabama, Holgate, Kenny, Alan Davis, Iwobi, Zaha, Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison with, of course, Jordan Pickford between the sticks. Liverpool look, well, very strong. Other than Alaba and Diaz at centre-back, you say is probably the weakest point of that side. Maybe Diaz, the weakest individual in that side. But they've just won the Premier League and by a margin as well. So they're very good. And we found that out in 2 games against them this season. So as ever, drop this video a like to make sure I know that you guys are enjoying this series still. And of course, to help continue growth on the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And tick that notification bell set to all notifications so you don't miss the start of Season 2 tomorrow. But for now, let's get on the bus, get on the train, and fly to Wembley. Right, Liverpool's starting lineup does look exactly the same as it did in that probable lineup. They've got Thiago, Lacazette, Modric, Klosterman on the bench, as well as Diogo Jota. What strength in depth Liverpool have. That's pretty remarkable, to be fair. We shall wait and see how we get on in this cup final. We've played Liverpool twice, as we've mentioned. We've lost to Liverpool twice, as we've mentioned. But there is no bigger stage in English domestic cup football than the FA Cup. I'd argue there is no bigger stage in any domestic cup football game on the planet. The FA Cup, once upon a time, was the biggest game in world football. And since the inception of the Cup Winners' Cup and the Champions Cup, or Champions League, etc., as it's renamed now, I still think it's up there with one of the most watched games, the most important games in world football. But it's one that we are going to have to work very hard to win because, again, Bobby Firmino scores early doors to give Liverpool a 1-0 lead. We knew this was going to happen. We anticipated it was going to happen. It has come to fruition. Liverpool are going to be ridiculously hard to beat. I think we need to undo the top button. I've undone the jacket. It's time to forget about being all prim and proper. It's time to get down and dirty, get stuck in, and bring this game back. Oh, come on, boys. Kenny. Forward down the line to Richarlison. I feel like Liverpool scored without me barely touching the ball. I think I had kickoff, and I still conceded really early. Dominic Calvert-Lewin in there to Tom Davies. Will overcommit Tony Kroos. And look at the run being made by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's very nearly in behind, but Trent Alexander-Arnold deals with it really well. It's going to make me run to that with Digne, but he's done well to win the header. Fired to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, looking to get past David Alaba. He's done that brilliantly! Goal! We aren't behind for long! It was either going to be Alex Iwobi or that man that scored our goals today. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is our top goal scorer for the season in all competitions. And he's shown exactly why their Alaba left standing, which is very rare for him. Knocked the ball one side, ran the other. Alisson came out, and I thought, to be fair, he was going to make a great reaction save. He didn't! It's 1-1! Robertson down the line to Mane. Nice first touch. That's a good one too, especially if Mane can keep it in, which he will. Jonjo Kenny trying to keep up, but easier said than done when Sadio Mane is at full stretch. Tony Kroos with some good possession play, but he's run himself into a bit of a blind alley here. Does still have Mane there, but Jonjo Kenny steps in well. The throw in for Liverpool by the corner flag. Mane plays the 1-2 with Robertson, who could cross it here. In there to Tony Kroos. No, Mo Salah just out-muscled and knocked off it, and that'll be a goal kick, will it? It's a corner. Did come off a defender last. Mo Salah to deliver the ball into the middle. There it is. And away, please. Thank you, Wilfred. Robertson's going to get to it first, though, and still the pressure continues on this Everton backline. Salah to Mane. Question of offside there, nothing given. Mane there again, pushing the boundaries of that defensive line. David Alaba forward to Tony Kroos. Out to Mane. He's got Salah there. He's looked for a lofted ball to him. It's brought down really well by Mo Salah. He's got options. He's going to find Henderson. Salah's there again. The angle's there for the shot, and somehow he squeezed that home at the near post. You might well fall to the ground and slap the floor in frustration. Jordan Pickford, you have been beaten. Identical twins there in the front row. You have been beaten at your near post from a really tight angle that you should never have been beaten at. It's good football to work it backwards and forwards, but from there, Salah should never score, especially it's a comfortable height for the keeper as well. Come on, Pickford, you've got to stop that. Ah! Well, I said 2-1 Everton. It's now 2-1 Liverpool after half an hour, and there's still a long way to go. We could have another very high-scoring Merseyside derby again. Digne through the gap to Wilf. Calvert-Lewin. Zaha thought about going again. Has now finally done so. And to be fair, should have the pace on Trent Alexander-Arnold. And he's shown great footwork there. And through that gap is Dominic Calvert-Lewin again, who could bend this one. Oh, off the underside of the bar! Can't believe it. So close to a second equaliser for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's played in again. The top goal scorer of this competition. Shot finds Zaha. Oh! Calvert-Lewin was just about to poke that home. And, oh, the thinnest of margins, but a correct call from the linesman to deny us what would have been a simple second equaliser. Knowing that we can damage this Liverpool backline, though, gives me at least some confidence that we can get ourselves back in this game. We've scored now 3 goals against them this season. So we know, given the right opportunities and the right setup play, we can win this game still. And Richarlison is in behind. And I could go for the shot across goal, which is buried! 2-2, game on again! Everton 2, in the suit with the chicken. Everton 2, Liverpool 2. We're not even at half-time yet. Nice tackle by Allen on Bobby Firmino. Forward we come. Richarlison. He's sold Tony Cruz. John Joe Kenny's on the overlap. I tell you who else is on the run. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And he's around the corner here. I'll just float it. Oh, we'll have a corner. Robertson in the way. All right, come on, Luca. What can you put in towards that near post? Calvert-Lewin is there. Oh, what a goal! Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the near post. We're going to lead at half-time. Wow! I didn't expect that. I said, go on, Luca, float it to the near post. Let's see what we can do. Calvert-Lewin with a beautiful flicked header. He had something similar to that from a corner earlier in the season where he tried to flick it to the back post and it ended up not quite meeting the back post and going out for a goal kick the far side. But at the near post, in between Robertson and another player, above Trent Alexander-Arnold, into the top corner under the bar, we lead at half-time. What an FA Cup final. What a time to win your first Merseyside derby of the season, if it turns out to be. Lovely ball out to Mo Salah to start the second half. We'll try and not allow Liverpool to concede at the beginning of this particular half of football, shall we? Nearly won that back, and it nearly fell kindly for me. Unfortunately, it didn't. Kroos, oh, that's a nice swivel looking for Bobby Firmino, and he, I think, did get there first. I was slightly worried when he went to ground because I committed to a clearance there as well. And I thought for a minute that Mason Holgate might have thrown a toe in there and taken Bobby down. Thankfully, the referee didn't see that as the way things went. And to be fair, I don't think they were. And Bobby Firmino didn't seem too bothered about the challenge. He seemed more disappointed at the fact he'd missed the chance in the first place, to be fair. Well, Liverpool have got the Champions League final against Barcelona coming up the day after my birthday. I'll lay that into Alan, can I? No. So they are on for a potential treble, Liverpool. But we're trying to deny them 3 trophies and ensure that it's, at most, a double for them this season. Although I don't know who won the Carabao Cup, to be fair. We can do that if we can win this FA Cup final. What a season it would be for Liverpool, though, to win the treble. They did the Premier League and the Champions League in real life in recent seasons. But not in the same year. Richarlison to Iwobi. Forward there to Calvert-Lewin through the gap. Oh, Everton boy, Tom Davies, to potentially have won the FA Cup for Everton Football Club. Can you believe it? Only in the side because of the injury to Abdoulaye Doucouré, but he has stepped up to the plate and he might just have hit a home run. Everton 4, Liverpool 2. The reverse of the most recent Merseyside derby scoreline. Is that the goal? Is that the goal to send us up the steps at Wembley to collect winners' medals, not runners-up? Oh, that could be huge. Henderson across to Tony Kroos. Henderson again. Bobby Firmino. It's great footwork. And now Mo Salah and Jordan Henderson are continuing it. Nice touch by Bobby. Nice tackle by Jean-Philippe. There's less than 20 minutes to go. I might call on some fresh legs from the bench just to ensure that we can hold on to this. I'm actually going to play the extra pass as well to then look to find Dominic Calvert-Lewin again. Oh, it could be a really glossy scoreline. Yes! Calvert-Lewin again. Oh, we're going to win the FA Cup in our first season at Everton. And oh my God, it's 5-2. 5-2. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a hat-trick on Cup final day. My man's in a suit. I'm in a suit. I just need to maybe sew an Everton badge on there. 5 goals in the FA Cup for Dominic Calvert-Lewin now. Alex Iwobi was the man that has scored more than anybody else in this competition. He still has, but we haven't needed his goals today. The fact he scored 8 goals in the FA Cup to this point, and this is like the 8th round, is silly. We only entered in the 3rd round. That's how deadly Alex Iwobi has been in this competition so far this season. But Jordan Henderson is going to try and bring it back here for Liverpool, but it's not to be. I thought it was going to... Oh, hang on. Knockout. I thought it was going to be the dream where Tom Davies, at the club since the age of 11, was going to score the final goal and the one to win us the trophy. To be fair, he might still score again. Henderson needs to pick himself up. Too busy complaining. And here is Tom Davies racing away. In fairness, it's going to be the man that has been our best player all season, I think. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you can't really deny him that, really. Who could even score a 4th. Oh, it's 6! 6 of the best! They've made them pay! I can't believe it. 1-0 loss to Liverpool at Goodison Park. A 4-2 defeat at Anfield. But at the hallowed turf of Wembley, 6-2. Where has this come from? He's going to challenge Alex Iwobi for the top goal scorer in the competition at this rate. 9 minutes to go. When have you ever seen a scoreline like this in an FA Cup final? Especially, when have you ever seen a scoreline like this in a Merseyside derby? Let alone both in one go. Everton not won a Merseyside derby for 10 years. Not won an FA Cup final for 26 years. As we win, no, 11 years for an FA Cup for a Merseyside. I'm getting all, we can't get there. Getting all caught up. Because we're 2021 now, obviously, in this save. So, last time Everton won a Merseyside derby was 2010. So, it's been 11 years since they've beaten Liverpool in any competition. And 1995, it's been 26 years since Everton won the FA Cup. But we are winning it here and in style. Oh, and Alan could have made it 7. I can't believe it. I genuinely am flabbergasted, gobsmacked. Thankfully not speechless because I'm trying to give a commentary, but I might as well be. Mane looking for the man through the middle, Alexander Lacazette, but it's not to be for Liverpool today. No treble for you boys. I cannot believe that we've just won the FA Cup. I can't believe we've beaten Liverpool at all. But to beat them 6-2 with Calvert-Lewin scoring 4 and young Liverpool-born Everton boy since the age of 11, Tom Davies on the score sheet as well. I feel bad for James Rodriguez and Abdoulaye Doucouré not to have been involved in this result because they've been such integral parts of our season as a whole. But the 11 today, with no substitutions, we didn't need them. The 11 today have done the business, and Luca Digne will be the man to lift the trophy. The man from Barcelona at Everton to lift the trophy. It always used to be captain at left back, or at least leading man at left back, Leighton Baines in an Everton shirt that drove the side forward. And it's going to be the left back again, our highest rated player, Luca Digne, 85 rated, who is going to lift the FA Cup for Everton Football Club for the first time since 1995. I was only 7 when Everton won the FA Cup last. I'm going to be 33 next year. It's been a while since the boys in blue have lifted this trophy. Oh, and I'm so thrilled to have done it with them. To win this first season as well is amazing. For the series, it's wonderful. And it does mean longer term, we can perhaps prioritise the league and European football, having already won the FA Cup. We're in the Europa League next year. We could win everything at Everton now. The FA Cup. We will challenge for the Europa League next year. I'd love to win that before reaching the Champions League, if we possibly can. Then we, of course, want to win the Champions League and the Premier League here at Everton before our time is up. But it's going to take us at least 3 seasons, maybe 4, maybe 5. We shall wait and see. But if you're going to join me for Season 2 tomorrow, hit that thumbs up button now. If you haven't hit the like button for a 6-2 win over Liverpool in the FA Cup final, why are you even here? Everton, winners of the FA Cup 2020-2021. There were nearly 20 bloody goals in that game as well. Unbelievable. That might possibly be the best one-off game with the suit we've ever had. That includes the Run Jamie Shackleton Champions League final at Leeds last year. Maybe that might slightly edge it. Let me know in the comment section, what's the best one-off cup final you've ever seen on this channel? It's certainly up there, this one. Right, I'm going to advance to the end of the season now, and then we can have a rundown and show you guys everything that's happened in Season 1. It's been a whirlwind first season at Everton. It's been a whirlwind first season on FIFA 21. I hope you'll join me for the next season. I hope you'll join me throughout the rest of this episode as well. Let's go and have a look at how things went down for us, for other sides, in all the various different competitions, and of course, as well, have a think about the summer transfer window too. I can't believe we've just done that. You join me on the 14th of June. Thank you for joining me for the season roundup. We'll have a look at the competitions we were involved in, the other competitions around Europe, have a look at some of the individual awards, and of course, have a look and see how we did against the board expectations. I've got a couple of youth prospects to show you as well, and we'll see how everybody grew this year, how their stats were, and of course, have a think about I keep saying January. Have a think about the summer transfer window. So, the competitions we were involved in this year, you all saw how the Premier League ended in the last episode, but to briefly refresh your memory, Liverpool won the league by 7 points from United. City in 3rd, Spurs 4th, ourselves 5th. We will be in the Europa League next year. Leicester 6th, Chelsea 7th. Arsenal only 9th, West Ham round out the top 10. Sheffield United, Burnley and West Brom were relegated. Fulham survived. Leeds survived. Congratulations to the 2 of them. You all know how the FA Cup ended, so there's no point showing you that one. The Carabao Cup was won by Liverpool, so they've done at least the double. They've won the Carabao Cup 4-1, by the way, against Man City. It's a big result. They won at least the double. Premier League and Carabao Cup. Who won the UEFA Super Cup? Bayern by 2-0 against Sevilla. No surprises there. Champions League final. Did they win that, Liverpool? They did. They have done a treble. Not the treble, but a treble. They win 4-3 on penalties against Barcelona in the Champions League final. Fair play, Liverpool. Well done. Hoffenheim win the Europa League by a goal to 0 against Real Sociedad. They will be in the Champions League next season. We will go for that Europa League title. Who else could be joining us, though, in the Europa League next year? Who's going to be joining us in the Premier League next year? It will be Sheffield Wednesday and Nottingham Forest, at least. Congratulations. Great to have both those teams back in the Premier League. Really, genuinely huge. Sheffield Wednesday, Nottingham Forest and Leeds back in the Premier League. That's massive. Unfortunately for United fans, they're going down and Wednesday are going up. And then one of Brentford, Watford, Derby and Norwich will join them via the playoffs. Pleased to see that Watford and Bournemouth didn't destroy the league like they did in the mini-series at Chelsea on the beta version of the game. So, delighted to see that the league table looks pretty respectable there. Where did Bournemouth finish in the end? Wow, 14th. Terrible season for Bournemouth. Relegated, Rotherham, Reading and Barnsley, unfortunately. Sorry, boys. Coming up from League One, Peterborough United and Fleetwood Town. Ipswich playoffs only, as well as Sunderland, Portsmouth and Hull, who were relegated, of course, last year as well. Relegated from League One, Bristol Rovers, Wimbledon, Rochdale and Accrington Stanley going back down. In League Two, promoted are Port Vale, Walsall and Tranmere, with Salford, Scunthorpe, Mansfield and Cheltenham in the playoffs. And were there to be... Oh, Jesus. Well, make a man's heart race. Were there to be non-league on the game, Barrow and Harrogate, the two sides that got promoted, would have gone straight back down. Cambridge, excuse me, top of the league in real... No, not top of the league. Second in the league in real life. 22nd. here in this save. I hope that's not a sign of things to come in real life later this season. So, in Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain with a strong league finish. Monaco in second, Marseille third, and Lyon will join us in the Europa League next year via a fourth placed finish. In Germany, Bayern don't win the league. Leipzig, Rasenballsport Leipzig, RB Leipzig win the league by a point from Bayern. Dortmund third, Mönchengladbach fourth, Leverkusen and Hoffenheim. Actually, not Hoffenheim. They won the Europa League. They will be in the Champions League next year. So maybe Mönchengladbach won't be in the Champions League. I'm not sure how that works now. But Hoffenheim and Leverkusen finishing 5th and 6th. In Serie A, Juventus win the league from Inter, from Lazio, from Atalanta in 4th, who will be in the Champions League again. What a team Atalanta are, by the way, in real life right now. Very entertaining team to watch. AC Milan, who might be our next destination with regards manager career mode here on the channel, potentially. Finish 5th, and Roma finish 6th. They will be in the Europa League next year. I'm still not sure who La Spezia are off the top of my head. If you guys can let me know who La Spezia are, in another unlicensed team in Serie A. This might be a reason why is not to do a Serie A save this season. Still unsure about AC Milan. Milan are a great big side, but with only Serie A, no Serie B, so no new teams each year, and 3 unlicensed teams in the league, I'm unsure as to whether to do a Serie A side this year. Maybe wait for, I said Serie A, not Siri, go away. A Serie A side this year. La Liga, though. Atletico Madrid by 4 points from Barcelona. Real Madrid third. Sevilla fourth. They might be the next side to be taken on board here on the channel, perhaps. Villarreal and Valencia in 5th and 6th. They will join us in the Europa League next year. Of course, no unlicensed teams in La Liga, and there is Segunda Liga in the game as well, and a number of La Liga stadiums are in the game too. So maybe Sevilla is where we go next after Everton, but we've still got plenty of seasons here at Everton. Do not worry. So we have an idea of who's going to join us in the Europa League next year. We'll have a quick look then at how players did this year in our competitions. Golden boot for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And well earned as well. 25 goals in 35 games. Weghorst gave it a good old go. He even scored against us on the final Premier League game, but not to catch Calvert-Lewin. Assist-wise, even though he missed 3 months, James Rodriguez with the most assists in the league. Oh, wow. Actually, where is Iwobi on the goals scored list? Zaha with 13. Iwobi doesn't make it onto the goals scored list. I'm surprised because he was banging them in. Assist-wise, Calvert-Lewin with 10 assists as well. 11, sorry. Allen with 10. James Rodriguez, wow. Certainly got... As good as Allen was... Sorry, as good as Iwobi was, James Rodriguez, I'm all over myself, I think has to continue to start at Cam. But with European football as well, and Iwobi having had a great season, he'll still get a great number of games next year. 6 assists for Alex Iwobi in 20 games. A number of substitute appearances, of course, for Alex Iwobi in this competition. And any other Everton names on their CFs? Wilfred Zaha with 5. Pickford with 16 clean sheets this season. That's very respectable. Very respectable indeed. I think Jordan Pickford will continue to be my number 1 goalkeeper next season. He's grown to 84 and he's had a very good year and made some big saves for me in big games. With regards to board expectation, we have the long-term ability to do this and 5 players eligible to have at least 1 youth academy player signed in the first season, play 50% of the games in the next season. I'm not sure they'll play 50% of the games. We have called up a number of young players this year. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that one, but it is something I would like to do this year, is put more emphasis on the youth development. Brand exposure-wise, they wanted me to score a goal in at least 20 games this season. We scored a goal in 45 games this season. I didn't, however, sign 3 players from South America, unfortunately, so that will be failed. We did do the financial one. Within 2 seasons, increase club worth. Well, we nailed it. Domestic success, we didn't finish top 4. We did win the FA Cup, and they only wanted a quarter-final spot, so I think they can forgive me that. And then continental success, short-term qualify for the Champions League. Hopefully we can do that next season, but I'd love to win the Europa League next year, because I have a feeling it might be the only year we're in that competition. But the board happy enough with me. 82 manager ratings, good enough. I'm quite happy with that. With regards my youth academy then, we currently have in here Sebastian Goodman, centre-back, left-back and centre-mid, 82 to 94 potential, only 2-star skills and 1-star weak foot, although of course we can train that, potentially. Training him mainly as a centre-back, but could maybe play as a CDM if his technicals improve, but with the way they are right now, he's definitely looking like a centre-back, isn't he? Jumping is 74. I'm going to need to improve that if we're to make a 5'11" man a centre-back. But, again, still plenty of room for growth for him. And hopefully he will continue to grow next year. Not going to call him up just yet. Arats Gutierrez is a new player, I think. No, I think I called him up previously. I think Ramos at the bottom is my new player. Arats Gutierrez, 3-star, 3-star, 76 to 90 potential, 5'5". Decent physicals to start and good ball control and crossing to grow, but still leaving him unbalanced for now. Jensen Oliver is a new player called up from my most recent scout report in between the end of the FA Cup final and now. 74 to 88 potential. Physicals look all right. He's probably more suited to being dropped to a centre mid, but shot power of 82, finishing of 63. Maybe could, if we can improve those physicals, maybe he's like an English James, you never know. Not quite amazing physically, but if we can train those technicals, could be a very productive player with 4-star skills as well, decent. Aslan still looks like our best prospect, either wing and in the middle. 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Technically needs to improve still though, and physically needs to improve still though, and technically too, but still only 16, plenty of room for growth. But Mateo Ramos, whilst he has the lowest expectation for potential, has a 5-star weak foot and 4-star skill moves, is 5'9" and only 58 rated, but at 15 years of age. So he's actually the highest rated player on this list, whilst being the joint youngest. Physically, 78 agility already, and technically 78 ball control, 77 curve, 73 dribbling, as well as 67 free kick accuracy, 67 long shots, 63 shot power and 66 volleys. Yes, his potential window is lower, but with the right training, he could be a worldie. Might be very specific to a certain position, but he could be a proper star, especially with that 5-star weak foot. Genuinely excited about the future of Mateo Ramos here at Everton Football Club. So then, how are we looking with regards to the first team 11 though? Thinking of next season and of course how people have grown this year. So, Joao Virginia out on loan has grown by 3. I think we're set for goalkeepers. Joao Virginia could hopefully continue to grow, maybe with another loan season. Obviously, as you can see, Lursel has hit his peak for potential. That's what that symbol there with the little almost rev counter symbol means. But there's always next season to improve on that. Jordan Pickford up 3 this year, but hopefully dynamic potential will kick in and he can continue to grow next year. Similarly with Luca Digne, up 1 this year, but again, hopefully with dynamic potential and with perhaps a different development plan, could continue to grow next year. So I'm happy with left back with Montiel as a backup. He's up 2 and still potentially growing as well with his current development plan. Very pleased with that. Has a 5-star weak foot now too as well. So I'm happy enough at left back. At centre back, Mason Holgate up 3 to 80, looking very good. Still growing slightly, his interceptions there, look, with his sweeper development plan. Might change his development plan to grow him a little bit more next year. Can still play at right back as well, although physically not really fast enough for that. Jean-Philippe Gabama, you guys told me to change him to a centre back. What an inspired decision that was. 82 rated now, and still looking to grow next season as well. Hopefully. Ben Godfrey, up 1 already since joining us and looking to grow across the board. I might give him a specific development plan as well next season. Michael Keane, I will probably look to replace. I'm sorry, Michael. I know you've been at Everton for a few years now. I know you're good, but we will be able to afford better. We will potentially need better to move forward as a team and progress up the table and in European competition too. Mads Paulsen, I'll probably look to loan him out. I might, in fact, add him to the loan list now and maybe give him a specific development plan, although I'm still leaning towards keeping him as he is. He's up 7 this year, by the way, to 60 from 53. Branthwaite up 2 to 62. We'll look to loan him out as well, I think, next year. Maybe I'll buy and keep Michael Keane and loan the youngsters out. We weren't quite able to get loan offers, well, not loan offers that we could get the player to accept for Gibson this year. Hopefully he will accept next year. We'll look to loan those 3 out, and then we'll still have 4 centre-backs, but we'll look to improve on Michael Keane. Maybe I'll sell him. I'm not yet decided. You guys can perhaps help me with that. At right back, John Joe Kenny has taken over and has gone up 5 to 81 this year. Up 5 to 81. I was thinking, not necessarily retiring Seamus Coleman, but he is obviously only going to go down. So perhaps retiring Seamus Coleman from first team duties unless absolutely called upon, and signing another right back. John Joe Kenny can either continue as starter if you would like, or I might look to sign a new right back. Although growing by 5 this year and with a new development plan, he could still continue to rock it. So maybe we're all right for the time being for 1 more year, then we think about right back. Maybe. We've obviously got Kyle John, who is on the loan list, and we couldn't get a loan bid for this year, unfortunately. Alan is 30. 86 rated now, obviously with the position change. Peaked with his development plan now, but we could maybe see what he could do next year with dynamic potential. Banon Jim I'll look to loan out again next year, although he's grown by 2 on loan. Fabian Delph I will look to sell. I will look to sell Fabian next year, unfortunately for him. Doucouré, still potential to grow for him. Up 1 to 79 and still looking like he could continue to grow with a 5-star week for now, that Anchorman development plan as well. Promising signs for him to continue to be a good starter for us. Tom Davis, up 3 to 78, growing well with that central midfielder development plan. Maybe we can try and get him even further up with a different one next year. Bernard, I'm probably going to look to sell, or at least keep as a backup, but look to replace in the first team squad. Iwobi, he's going to need another development plan because it looks like he's peaked right now, but dynamic potential should kick in for him next year. Absolutely one of our best players this season, with 18 goals and 11 assists in all competitions. A worldie of a player. 8 goals and 4 assists in 6 FA Cup games. Wow. James, though, 7 goals, 16 assists in all competitions, almost all in the Premier League. Still, even though he's down 1, I will probably give him a specific development plan next year to try and improve, or hopefully maintain his rating at the very least. Looks like he could still go up, judging by the way that the arrows are there. It's just the injury that's knocked him back a bit. Young Hugo Irving, I will look to loan and gain some first-team experience. Similarly with Bernhard Schmidt, we will look to loan as well, although he's up 4 this year, so we are getting some growth out of these youngsters. Yannick Bolasie still will try and sell if we can. Wilfred Zaha looks to have peaked with his current development plan of balance, but maybe I'll try and switch that next year and get some more growth out of him. He, this season, got 13 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League and 3 assists in 3 FA Cup games too. Anthony Gordon is going to potentially be a future option for us out wide, but still needs a lot of growth, really. And that's going to come on loan next year. Richarlison, up 3 to 84 this season. Still growing well, and perhaps even more so with another development plan. He got 13 goals and 5 assists this season in all competitions. Delighted with him this year again. Elliot Sims, try and get him a loan deal next year if we can. He's up 2. Moise Keane is up 3 to 77. Maybe we give him more of a specific development plan next year and hope that his growth continues. I'm quite happy with my strikers. Moise Keane, when called upon, scored goals. 5 in 5 in the Prem, plus 3 assists. 3 in 4 in the FA Cup, plus 5 assists. In 12 games, 8 goals, 10 assists. Wow! Moise Keane, they are some stats, mate. GG. However, if we're going to talk about stats, 34 goals in 42 games, add to that 13 assists as well. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin is our player of the season. Don't you? Yeah. Up 4 to 83 this year. We've changed him to a complete striker now at your request to get that weak foot up, which is now 4-star and may continue to go up still before the end of that complete striker development plan. Let me see how much longer he's got left on that. Let's have a quick look, shall we? 2 weeks until he finishes that. So maybe the weak foot will go up again. Maybe it won't. I'm not sure. But it will be next season when that happens. I'm happy with my strikers. I'm happy with my central players. It's mainly the defence now that I think we're going to look to. Yeah, because goals we've not been short of. Assists we've not been short of. But maybe it's been leaking too many goals. And Pickford's kept a number of clean sheets as well. We did concede 38, so on average, a goal a game. And if you look at the sides above us, they were conceding considerably less than a goal a game. Whilst we were scoring relatively where at least Manchester City and Spurs were. So keep scoring as many goals, stop conceding quite so many, and we should be a top 4 side next season. That, though, is going to bring this video and this season to a close. Thank you so much for joining me for this first year here at Everton. I've been thrilled with how it's gone, both in the save and on YouTube. Thank you continually, and I will continue to say it the longer you show the support. For your support here with this first season, we've gained over 8,000 subscribers here on the channel since the start of FIFA 21. If you are one of those new 8,000s, welcome. You are so very welcome. It's been the best start to a year of FIFA for me for 4 years here on the channel. And I really hope it continues because I'm so excited about the full year of FIFA 21. It's the best career mode in game we've had for more than 4 years. So fingers crossed it does continue. And I hope to see you in episode 1 of season 2 tomorrow, where I will very much need your continued transfer suggestions. We'll have a look at some development plans tomorrow as well and look to crack on and, of course, see what our budget is going to be. And maybe, though probably not until episode 2, find out what our Europa League group is going to look like. Join me tomorrow for episode 1 of season 2 here at Everton. I'll see you then.